Okay, is anybody out there? We are getting ready for the live stream. Okay, Kurt is there. Somebody is there already. Hey, welcome to R&B Guitars for the second live stream in the Holy Couch Guitar Show. Normally we would have been in Germany, in Berlin, at the Holy Grail Guitar Show. But since the Corona pandemic, we need to stay at home. As they say here in Belgium, we need to stay in our cot. So I'm here in my workspace, in my workshop. And we learned a lot yesterday. So today should be much better. In your right corner on the screen, you see the logo of the Holy Guitar or the Holy Couch Guitar Show. It's a page on Facebook where you have lots of things to see from other guitar builders. In your upper corner here, you see a link to my Instagram and my Facebook. So welcome everybody. I'm going to talk a bit about the instruments that are here displayed. Yesterday we did more acoustics. Today I want to talk about especially those two guitars here, Resonator Guitars. Most people don't know what a Resonator guitar is. I think most of the people know the National that Mark Knopfler played on the guitar with Dire Straits. You must know the LP with the Blue Cloud with a metal guitar in it. It's a Resonator guitar by National, and it's the same principle. So here under the hood of this, it looks like a lid on a pot to go cooking. There's this thing. It's called a resonator. It's very thin aluminum. I tried to show it a little bit closer. It's very thin. It's very delicate as well. It can break instantly. What happens is this is suspended, or the strings are suspended by the resonator, and all the sound is coming from this little thing. So this is underneath here. You see the guitar is only like 44 millimeters thick, and it's in between there. So acoustically you can hear something. While I'm demonstrating, I'm also looking at comments coming in. Crystal, I love you. Yes. Who else is there? Marina is also there. Wow. Kim, Jeroen, Bella, Jean-Pierre. Wow, it's great. Yesterday we had people coming in from Brazil, from India, Paris, all over the place, people from Germany. So this is great for me. It's great fun. I guess it's fun for you too as well. You can watch in your lazy couch into my workshop. So this guitar is not set up for slide playing. I'll demonstrate that with this guitar. So this is a regular guitar. It has two pickups in there. One is a T.V. Jones humbucker, and the other one is a Seymour Duncan duckbucker. I'll try to let them ring for a bit. Kun je met de camera een beetje naar beneden zetten? Ja. Okay, first volume. I can't go too loud because otherwise it will distort the... And we're adjusting a bit. No, yeah, okay. This is this pickup, the bridge pickup, mellower sound. Okay. The other side of the spectrum is this one, more harsh sound. And then you have the middle position. Nothing spectacular here. So volume and tone control, which is typical on a normal. It's painted all in black. Let me switch that off. Painted all in black except for the neck. The neck is maple, flamed maple that I colored black with Chinese ink. And the back of the headstock, don't know if you can see it, but it's also a veneer of walnut. This gives it a better look. It has Schaller lock tuners on it. Flame maple headstock overlay. This is a great guitar to play. It has funny looks. I've copied, actually the look is copied from National Guitars in the 50s. You had a beautiful guitar called the National Glenwood and Westwood. So let me demonstrate this one. I need a slide for this one. Okay, and today is Sunday and today we drink hartstikke lekker bier. Haha, Nikolai is also joining the party. Hey Nikolai, all the way in Denmark, I guess. Haha, and Peer is watching us on YouTube. Welcome, Peer. Okay, Leo from all the way from Holland is also joining in. Okay, this is my cameraman. My son Junior made this all possible. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to do that. Okay. Yeah. Okay. This is a guitar I took with me 2 years ago to the Holy Grail Guitar Show in Berlin. It was part of the local wood challenge. The local wood challenge is a system. Bernard is also here. Hi Bernard. Duvel lover. No, it's not a Duvel. It's a triple Carmelite. This is what I'm drinking, everybody. Triple Carmelite. In my opinion, one of the better beers in Belgium. Although Duvel isn't that bad, but this is more sweet and I like it. So this is a guitar built out of only local wood or wood that can be harvested local in Belgium. The body is alder, the neck is flamed maple, and there is some birch here, and this is beech, and the fretboard is smoked acacia. There's a bridge pickup, a TV Jones Supertron in here, and it's combined with a McIntyre Resonator pickup. And who else is there? One of my colleagues in school. Hello, Jerome. Yes. And so I use the neck pickup for a slide when I play in the band. back off, otherwise it's too loud in the microphone. But then there's also this pickup here, and a blend pot. It's a blend control. Aha, Mark is saying he'd rather drink a Westmalle triple. Well, Mark, go ahead. Okay, now I'm at the acoustic pickup and it's sounding very harsh now. I should change the setting on the amp, or otherwise play it through an acoustic guitar amp. But there's lots of things that you can do. Okay, one of the differences between the two guitars is here that the action of the strings is on this guitar is a bit higher compared to this one, because I don't have to fret. When you're playing slide, the frets, I won't say that they don't matter, but normally if you play slide, you don't touch the frets, you play with the slide on the strings. Okay, so that's my second Resonator sale on a website, Vintage and Rare. Go check it out. The Fred van a Brugse triple. Fred wants a Bruges triple, yeah. Okay. Who else is there?
Kijk, Peter. Ik denk dat Peter Colijn er is.
Ja. En Peter Colijn zit hier op...
En Joe Millen is er ook.
Ah, Joe is joining the party. I guess Joe will have either a... He might have some... Ah, me volgen het is eigenlijk.
Mark Merens. Ze zou niet mogen uitvallen normaal gezien.
Okay. Then I wanted to talk a little bit more about this thing. Yesterday we talked about the Mojo Electric. The Mojo Electric is a guitar I designed. I wanted a shape that was not too big, easy workhorse. So this is a left-handed guitar. I don't know how to play a left-handed guitar. This guitar is called the Firecracker because there's lots of flamey guitar. And let me show you the binding. The binding on this guitar is what they call false turtle. False turtle, thank you. I made the knobs myself. They're made from a wood called wenge, and I filled the pores with orange paint. So you see, it gets some really crazy effects here, you see, beautifully. So the top and the back is, I don't know if you can see, highly flamed koa. And then I had this pickguard custom made by an artist in Germany who made this for me. It's sort of, I guess they pour together different kinds of epoxy with fillings in there. It's like goldish, it's orange, yellow. It's very lively. It has Duesenberger P90s in there, and a P90 actually is a single coil, but here it is into two separate. There's no hum. They really sound great. It has a mastery bridge, of course. Mastery bridge, very good bridges for using together with a trem. And this is a Duesenberger trem. What I like about the Duesenberger trim is that it's so delicate compared to the Bixby, who is big and, well, anyway. Okay, Francis, yeah, Heert, yeah, everybody's in. Jean-Marie is also in. School, Tom, yes. It's funny now I can see what people... Yesterday we didn't bad, but today is going better. So interesting would be for me if you can text me questions. If you have anything you want me to answer, I can do that. What I didn't mention yesterday about this guitar, this is a Weissenborn style guitar, and this is the mold I made it in. Sometimes I see Oeh, soms vormen wij, je vindt heel in blokjes.
Shouldn't be.
Aha, our drummer is also joining the party. He was still looking at the live stream from yesterday. So this is actually what you need to do if you want to make a big instrument, a big acoustic instrument like that. First you have to make a mold. A mold is made of several layers of multiply wood. And then these are some spreaders to keep the sides beautifully aligned when you glue the top and the back to it. I'm gonna put it down because it weighs a ton. Any questions? Any questions? Feel free to. Joe is telling me that the sound is sometimes falling out.
Ik ga de rest gewoon uit de router zeker.
We're doing everything we can to avoid that.
Blatant lie.
Okay, let me tell you something about my other passion. I have a passion for wood, and I can ask my engineer now if he can switch over and embed his camera on his laptop to see here in my work. I think that's possible.
Yes, I am doing it right now.
Yeah, slaantje Joe, slaantje.
Our lighting is a bit in the way though.
Wait a minute, there's questions coming in. I really like that. Dries sent a question, and it's what is the binding around the neck of the blue Resonator? Haha. So, Dries, I'm going to show you this. This is one of the only guitars that I have in the house. The board is bound with flame maple. Up close. What is typical on a bound neck is that you don't see the fret ends. I'll show that on another guitar. So this is not, here the fretboard is not bound and you see all the fret ends. I hope that I can show that this way. Another question is, a resonator never with a hollow body? Yes, you can play this without amplifying. Oh yeah. It's not that loud, but you can do it. It's a great thing to lay around watching television in the couch and looking at. So you can, or I can make you a guitar, an acoustic guitar with a resonator in it, no problem.
Ashok is watching again.
Haha, Ashok is joining us again from India, and I see that my polootje is a little bit too small. I should track in mijn boek, eh? Wacht even. Hi Tor, joining us again from Germany. Okay, Victor is asking a very good question. What are my favorite kind of pickups? I really like the pickups from TV Jones and Curtis Novak. Both names that I mentioned now are people who are just like me, making custom orders. Well, TV Jones is a bigger name now, but like Curtis Novak, he makes Heertje, saté in Leuven. My favorite pickups are TV Jones and Curtis Novak. Although I like the Duesenberger pickup here. Very good, very good, very good, very good. I already tried to explain. So it's a P90 P90 is normally a single cone pickup, or a single pickup, and now it's split up into two coils, so there is no hum, which is the single. Who else is joining in? Okay, did we have the screen up already with the wood?
I showed it a little bit and then
Maar
you
ik kan
answered
het niet zien.
questions.
Ik kan het niet zien. So I'd like to talk a little bit more about.
It's on now. It's on now. You
Yeah,
can't
okay.
see it yet.
I'm gonna look.
Right here. Just walk over here.
Okay, you should see in the stream now. You can see wood that is on the shelves in my. And I have different woods. Those are mostly woods for acoustics, so top plates in spruce or cedar. Then I have different back and sides in all kinds of woods. Walnut, koa, maple, rosewood of course, and then also the side material. I don't know if you get this far, but there's fretboards here and ebony, etc., etc. No, it's okay. And the room next to here, I have lots of wood for electric guitars. Wood has become a passion insofar that I go through piles of firewood and look for beautiful things. So if I find wood that has mold in it, mold is what this looks like, then I slice a piece up into little pieces. And then you can make a boot match. If this is the group of slices, you can make a book match of. And sometimes you get really, really beautiful things. And this is one like that. This is spalted beech on the headstock of this guitar, and this is what it looks like.
I'm going to turn off the other.
Yeah, okay. Hey, Creek, yeah. So yeah, sometimes you need to look for wood in the most different places. We once visited London, and at a stall that sold olive wood to work in the kitchen. You know the places where they sell the olive wood. I bought this beautiful piece, and I sliced it up as well into 4 little ones. And one day this is gonna end up in one of the guitars, headstock material or whatever. A question about the Resonator guitars, how they are finished. So these are spray finished, and it's the same paint that they would use to spray cars. It's what's this?
Lacquer.
It's lacquer,
Pearl lacquer.
No.
Polyactate.
Yeah.
Polyactic acid. I don't know.
Acryl. It's een soort acryl in het Nederlands.
Sort of plastic or something. Oh.
But it's not cellulose. If that is the question, it's not cellulose. You can do cellulose. There are builders who spray finish their cellulose, take it into the fridge because the wood then shrinks and then the lacquer gets all the little cracks in there. Ha! Glad to meet you, Francois, or to have you here. What else would I? Yeah, yesterday I talked about hide glue, hot hide glue. So it is made from the skin of dead animals, and we buy it in bags like this, and it's sort of a granulate. I don't know if you can see this. Pura pelle it says, so pelle, I guess pelle is skin and pure skin. What an old coffee grinder, my grandmother's coffee grinder, and I grind it into the coffee grinder, and what I get is real fine dust of the glue, and then I dissolve it into water. I do this in a normal cooking pot where I have a sort of a bain-marie. So in the pot is water. There is a little potchen that is suspended above to contact. En Mike zegt hallo aan Ralph. Mike Beuse. So this is the way you make hide glue. Hide glue is ideal in lutherie for lots of, mostly in acoustic guitars. I wouldn't say I use it much in electric guitars, but in acoustic guitars it's very good. One of the advantages is that you can reopen a joint with hide glue. The glue left, I save it in syringes like this, and next time I need a bit of glue, I just put it above the steam. It softens very quickly and I can work further from there. Any questions? Any more questions? How are we doing? How is the broadcast? Is the sound okay? Is the visual of the streaming okay? Sometimes I see we get blurry.
Well, I can take out all the other cables in the router and draw all the...
Ja. Dat niet waar zijn.
We were deciding...
Ah, Eloise is also joining. Hello, Eloise. Eloise is from France and she used to be a student in my class. Hello, Eloise. Okay, any questions? Send me some questions. No? No questions? Okay, then I'll continue about this one. This is not your ordinary acoustic guitar. It's a Weissenborn guitar. It has, there is this part, but it's all the way to the acrylic. Thank you very much, acrylic. Benny Wachtelaar just answered the question. Okay, Ashok Parekh, what would be your best combination of top and back and side, as if you want to make a guitar for yourself, for the music you love and want to play that guitar? Okay, what would be my ideal combination, and one of the combinations that I play on is a spruce top with walnut back and sides, preferably American. Actually, for the moment, I'm making a guitar for a custom order, and again, I'm very happy. The customer chose walnut. It's a very good tone wood in the sense that it's in between. It's very near to mahogany, and mahogany is a wood that we can no longer or not easily buy anymore. Okay, Jeff just gave a great explanation that water-based acrylic polyurethane enamel is currently the most widely used paint for reasons including reducing paint environmental impact. And I know Jeff has experience in that. Jeff once had sprayed an instrument into his shed in the garden, and his neighbor's rabbits the day after were a bit dizzy. So I know Jeff is very fond of a good environment instead of something that is poisonous. So I was talking about this one. Ashok, this also is American black walnut combined with a spruce top, and the sound is crazy. Okay. Let me tell you more about a question that Jules asks. The question is, what is your favorite fret wire and why? For my own bills, hey, Eloise says she misses the CMB. I know you do. My favorite fret wire has become now Evo Gold. It's a fret wire that is made by a company called Jeskar, and I like it in the sense that it's more sturdy than the nickel alloy frets that we used to use. It's a bit more expensive, but it's a harder material. I don't like any steel, stainless steel, because it don't work with your files, etc., etc. They after one guitar you can throw away your material, and I don't want that. I know some people who are, I mean, they can eat their frets because the way they play the guitar is really hard. So for those people, maybe stainless steel frets would be a good idea, but it's a pain in the ass to work them. So Evo Gold is a good alternative, which I like. And yeah, thank you for that question, Joe. It's a good question. Anything on there? Yeah, Kurt asks a very good question regarding the colored guitars. The black one is only the paint that is buffed out on this a color first, and then there's a varnish to buff it out. So both are different. This one is only black paint that is rubbed out, and it's okay. Okay, then there's a question about the bracing on the tops of a guitar. The question is, do you, in voicing the top, do you still shave the braces? Well, I can tell you an experience I had with my first guitar I made in school. When we strung the guitar up, I was very pleased. It sounded like a guitar. There were 6 strings on it, and I could play a chord, and it sounded like a guitar. My teacher, however, was not impressed. He said it sounds like a carton box, so there's nothing to it. And then little plane. I can show you a plane like that. Wait a minute. He gave me something like this. These are planes that I made myself, little planes. And with the plane, I had to go into the guitar and shave off from the braces. While the guitar was not strung up, otherwise I couldn't take my hand in there. But then we put strings again on it, listened how it sounds, not good yet. Okay, go in, away. So this is one way of doing it. Nowadays, what I do, I have the advantage as a teacher. I have a lot of tops that go through my hands where students ask me, is it okay to continue? So what I look for first is, before bracing, we flex the wood. And if you flex a top between your hands, it wobbles, and you need to get a certain pitch. And I can imagine that it's difficult if it's your first or your second or your third. But you make, or the more advantage you have in going through the tops of students, I learn a lot as well. Then a second step is, while you brace, and I had this with the bouzouki that I showed yesterday, I had all the bracing done according to a book that Joe was so kind to lend me. And I did bracing according to plan, and in my opinion it was too stiff. So before you mount it to the sides and make the box, the sound box that is going to become the instrument, you have to evaluate, and this is also part of voicing. We had, with the school, we had a beautiful meeting with, and his name escapes me now, Dana Bourgeois. Yeah, Dana Bourgeois makes beautiful, great sounding guitars in the US. And we got a lecture on top voicing. So he showed us in several ways, looking for um, the places to tap and to hold the top and listen to what vibrates. So that's what I do now. So ask me questions, send me questions. Can't be that you know everything about guitar building. I want to answer them while I take a sip. Great question from Tom, who is also a student at the CMB in Puurs in Belgium. He asks if the Weissenborn, in fact, yes, the top is dead flat. So the top of the instrument is dead flat, as is the fretboard is dead flat. Also, there is no can't find the word in English now. Okay, there's no compensation for the saddle on the bridge, because you work with a slide. Actually, you never press the strings too hard down. So all this is flat, no compensation. But I did make it has a curve. I don't know if you can see that, but it's the 6mm that we use on a guitar. And how did I do that? I sanded with the disc this part of the body, and then the rest I sanded a block to. Actually, I just eyeballed it. I don't know if you can see that it has a. Maybe this way you can see that there is an arch in it, whereas the top is dead flat. The top is flat, you see. So Tom, I hope this answers your question. I told about that yesterday, but maybe people that don't know how binding. Lots of pieces. So this is ebony and maple. You make you glue them together in patches, bigger, and then you get a whole board like that, and then you cut them off under an angle. You see, and then you can glue. From there on, again, you can cut off strips, which becomes something like this. Okay. If it's small enough, whoops. If it's small enough, then you can bend it. But these, you glue of veneer, and then you can try to bend them on a bending iron, but that didn't work because the blocks were too big. They were glued with hide glue, so hide glue has a tendency when it's getting hot that it's letting loose. So I had to set them in all. So the longer pieces, the straight pieces, those went in one piece. They were straight, but from here on all the way around, I had to, because the changing. You can see, for instance, here you see that it's constantly changing the corners, which was a difficulty. Beautiful, beautiful flamed American walnut. Waka waka, look at that. Okay, any other questions? Are there steps you never do by hands? Question. Let me think about that. If I have to drill, I use the drill press. I don't do any drilling by hand like this. No, I'm just laughing here. I have a thickness sander in the room next to me. And for instance, tops, sides and backs, even fretboards, I will sand them to a given thickness, but I never go to the thickness that I want to acquire. Then I do the rest by hand, and I have a very show you. This is what they call a scraping plane from Veritas. This is the brand here, Veritas. It's a scraping plane. So actually here the blade is almost at 90 degrees. And so once my top or backs or sides, fretboards or whatever, come from the thickness sander, there are grooves in there that are too deep. I sand with what grooves are. I leave more than a millimeter to take away with the scraping plane. With a scraper you get a really nice shine. Very good question. I hope I answered the question, Francois. So that's one of the things that I use a machine, but I combine it with hand tools. Elke just asks a very good question. Do you need the height of the fingerboard on the Y a flat guitar so the nut doesn't have to be that high? Well, anyway, in my opinion, you would be able to do that, but then there wouldn't be a fretboard because the... Alke, that is a very good question, thank you. So the fretboard is onto the top, and then the top would go all the way up here, but then you still would need a bridge or a nut to elevate the strings. And it's doable. I guess it's doable, but then here the bridge has to also lower a bit, and then you could take a normal guitar nut, I guess. You will have to lower it. You have to lower it a bit into the headstock that it's stable. Yes, this bridge or this nut is really high. I show it closer to the camera. This is, I guess, this is close to 8 millimeters something here, the height of the nut. But I guess it's doable. It will look strange. You will have to glue a veneer on there to simulate the fretboard, because it will look odd if there won't be a fretboard. But actually the fretboard is of no use. You can see there are no frets on here. These are just little veneers of maple that I've glued into where normally the frets would go, into the fret slots. It's just maple that is glued in there. So it's dead flat. Don't know if you can see that. There are no frets in there. Okay. Now, those are really good questions. Thank you, thank you. Those are very good questions. Maybe I can show you something else. Even ik hem een dingetje die erachter in dan de kabel. Okay, this is maybe this is worth telling about. This is a router base combined with a system I made myself. It's made from plexi. I'll show it a bit closer to the camera. There is a hole drilled into here, and I put a drill in there, a drill bit, 5 millimeters, and then here I can change the distance from the router bit to the drill bit. You would say, why do you need that? Thank you, Jens. Okay, I'll show you. making an OM, and customer, he wants the customer wants a typical rosette in the way that Michihiro Matsuda or Raymond Kraut makes them, and it's a rosette that won't go all the way around. It's different parts. I have already one part filled in, and with the system I just showed you, StewMac sells them for way too much money in my opinion. So I made my own, and now I will make, I have a drawing, yeah. It's correct, yeah. The drawing of the rosette will be something like this, whenever it's finished. The advantage also of the jig that I just showed is that you can drill not only circle-wise, but you can also drill from the center point outwards, which I will be needing when I will cut these blocks here, this one and this one. Yeah. Aha, Mr. Ben Lambrechts is also joining the club. Hello. You need in order to get volume. Yes, again. I guess that you're speaking about the Weissenborn, Francois. Correct. Again. You need some pull or leverage on the top to get sound. Maybe that's something that I can say. I'll take the acoustic, the only acoustic instrument again. So how is it possible that we get sound out of an instrument like this? Inside the sound box there's air. Air, you can't compress air. If you have a tank you can do it, but into a sound box you can't do it. So if you pluck a string, what the string actually first does, when you pluck the string gets a little bit longer and it tries to pull on the bridge. The bridge or the top is constructed with the bracing that it stays in place. So what it does is it goes a little bit deeper. Actually, the bridge, while you going, you can't see it with your eye, but the air compressed or the air inside the sound box will need to escape from the sound hole, which is normally here. I hope I explained that clearly enough for not the guitar builders amongst us. But actually, in this design, I changed the sound hole from being here to the sides, which enables that the top, the movement of the top that is pumping. Normally when the sound hole is here, that pumping stops once the sound hole is reached. Okay? So normally the top is this long, and now with the replacement of the sound hole, my top can vibrate from here to here. This is a reason why the sustain also is so long. It's still singing. It's still singing. Okay. How we doing?
We're doing fine.
Anything else there? Shoot me a question. And be sure whenever we stop here, go to the page of the Holy Guitar Show. You can see it on your screen in this corner, I guess, the Holy Couch Guitar Show on Facebook. You find also their website, the HGGS website. You find a link to a program with lots of other live streams and things going on. People I have the... Haha, Pierre is joining us again in France. Hello, Pierre. So we added some things, Pierre. We have my links to my Instagram and my Facebook page. And then we have a link to the Holy Guitar or Holy Couch Guitar Show. And we, instead of yesterday water, now we have a beer and things go fluidly. Any questions? Ask me anything. Or I could have... let me show you. Very near to me are the rasps and the files I use. I have different rasps, but it seems to boil down to two. I have lots of rasps and files, but I mostly use these two. One is a rasp that is made in a machine. You can buy them in China where they're made by hand, but this one is made machine-wise, but it's a very good one. And then this one is a file, and it's super, super, super fine. And actually, with these two, scrapers as well. With scrapers you can really work. Funny thing I can tell you, when you have those safety shoes, in safety shoes, between the sole of your shoe there is a steel plate. That is, if you would walk into a nail, that the nail wouldn't go into your foot. Well, that steel is ideal to make a scraper with, to work in wood. It's very good. What else? We're almost at an hour. Yeah. Hey Tom. Yeah. Well, I could play some more guitar if you want that. Yeah.
Play Sweet Baby.
Nah. I don't know what I'm gonna play, but I might play. I won't say, are there any requests? This was fun. I mean, in my case, it would have been more fun to go to Berlin and meet all the other makers, because actually the European guitar builders, we have a community, and actually we're all family. And but hey, it's with the pandemic we had to stay at home. Is that too loud?
Try again.
For people who are joining in just now, inside a guitar like this, there's this thing. This is what we call a resonator. I'll show it up close. It's really, really thin aluminum shaped in a cone. And what it does is it suspends the strings. So actually acoustically, this is what it sounds like acoustic. Okay, so there's no sound box here. It's just 44 millimeters of alder, and then this is the thing that makes the sound. And Joe is asking what kind of amplifier I'm using. It's a Fender Mustang number 2. And it has all this crazy... Well, it has all these different effects in there. Let me see if I can find a good one.
Niet dat, hè?
Did I mention I'm giving a discount on these 2 guitars? They are on Vintage and Rare, or drop me an email. My website is rnbguitars.be. You can find my email address if anybody is interested. Just drop me a line or go to Vintage and Rare. I'm giving a 20% discount on the instruments that are listed on Vintage and Rare. Okay, we gotta go. Thank you everybody for joining in. This again, but I mentioned it on my Facebook and on my Instagram. So thank you for joining in. This was not Berlin, this was Bruges. If you ever get to Bruges, just send me an email, call me, send me a messenger or whatever, or a DM on Instagram, and we'll meet up here at my workshop, and then we go into town. Because in Bruges we have lots of cafes, and I hope by then they will be open and then we can have a beer together.